Part 2 kind of picks up where part 1 left off. We're on another street. And this is the street I actually used to spend a lot of time on. This open area here used to be absolutely full of tables. You could come past here after having a little bit to drink on Friday night or Saturday night, which I often did, and it would be absolutely chock-a-block with tables. And those tables at 3 o'clock in the morning would still be full. This pharmacy here actually used to be a convenience store. In the distance, the sex shop is still here, but it's one of the few that's left. It used to be those other services I was referring to in the other video. But it looks like the restaurants are still here, but the tables are all gone. Usually by mid-afternoon, this place would be absolutely hopping with people. I sort of look at this as an attempt at gentrification. This rounded off area at the end used to be a great little bar called the Red Fox. And I do mean a great little bar. The owner was a woman in her 30s. It only lasted about 3 or 4 years. But she was a legitimate mixologist, so she actually knew her stuff. Certain skills don't seem to be here anymore. Taps Mini, that is a craft brewer. And that's actually relatively new. Rich Cat Brewing has a few locations here in Shenzhen. And a few of the little restaurants are still open. They put the barricades up between lanes to keep traffic moving. Another thing that's shown up over the last few years is all the bike shops. And if you looked at the other video and you're looking down the street now, it's pretty obvious that that is probably the #1 way to get around in Shenzhen. And I've never broken down and bought one because truth is, I miss my motorcycle. And you're not allowed to have a motorcycle in Shenzhen. An e-bike that has a governor on it that regulates it at about 25 kilometers an hour is about as good as you're going to get. Like I said, e-bike shops, they're everywhere in Shenzhen in general, but in particular here in Shekou. There's even another one across the way. And in a past video, I've talked about these kind of everything shops. Shopping in them is a bit of an adventure because they are hardware stores. But finding exactly what you need, wow, it can be difficult. And you can see just how popular these e-bikes are here, not just on the road. But there is some variety in what you can get in the shops themselves. And I'm definitely not going to go all the way down. Another e-bike shop. Another craft beer place. Basically all of the service establishments are gone. You still see a couple of spas. And you see barbershops and such. And you see these kind of everything stores. But this market here, this is actually quite new. And here's something that you wouldn't expect. pharmacy taking the place of a 7-Eleven, actually. Anything that used to be considered seedy, unseemly, and such in SeaWorld and the vicinity is pretty much gone. As I said before, you can call it gentrification, you can call it what you like, but it has changed considerably over the course of the last few years. It was starting before COVID, probably around 2017, so my first 2 or 3 years in Shenzhen, there was a lot of it. Nowadays, you're not going to see any of it. Dental clinic. And I like this dental clinic because you don't actually become a patient in the window. Across the street is an example of what I was talking about before. That number 1 bar, the front has changed, but the bar hasn't. It's still here. This bike place has been going full tilt for as long as I can remember. Because they do rentals, they do repairs, and they do sales. This tiny little place used to be busy all the time, especially at this time of day, but not anymore. And Task Craft Beer and Snacks over there used to be a different kind of establishment. This pharmacy's been here for a long time. The keg room here used to be a place called Miami, and it was nightclub, bar, you could get shisha. But this part of the city has changed considerably over the last few years. And this place hasn't changed a bit. Looks exactly the same. Starling is new, or new to me. And on this side, there used to be a massive bar, which is also now long since gone. And Fuwan Road actually leads up to at least one of the schools. But it's changed quite a bit over the last few years as well. In behind the facade, looking up out to the front, was a hotel, and there was a great little restaurant and bar called Luna that was there. Welcome to the part of Shoko that I used to spend a lot of time.